Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of your OGR, as today we had game 43 as the Edmonton Oilers took on the Anaheim Ducks and put an absolute whooping to the Ducks, winning 6-2. In a game we could actually win in decent fashion, as we were going up against one of the worst teams in the NHL in the Ducks, and we were able to lay a pretty good whooping on them. Now, I wouldn't take this as a confidence booster for the team, as we still need to beat the Vegas Golden Knights this weekend, and actual good teams we need to beat. But besides that, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. As let's get right into this. Now, there's not a whole lot to talk about with this game, of course, since we were going up against one of the worst teams in the NHL, and I really don't take these games very seriously. We were watching the game last night. We had a lot of fun joking around, and that's mostly what we did. We were watching the game very, silently. Wasn't really paying attention too much to it, because you're going up against the Ducks. You're going to have an easy W majority of the time. The Ducks only have 12 wins this season, so you almost know it's going to be an instant W for you, so you really don't need to worry too much about your team losing. Now, if your team does lose, it's pretty goddamn embarrassing, and I was expecting the Oilers to lose, but the Oilers really did come out and play pretty good. They really just shut down the Ducks. We outplayed them 5-on-5, which is pretty easy to do against the Ducks, to say the least. But that's really about it. But there was some new combinations. We got to see the debut of Vincent Desharnais, which I actually thought was pretty good. We're going to be talking about him a little bit later on. Dylan Holloway got bumped up to the first line, and I don't know why this took so long to put Holloway up alongside of McDavid. It took forever for Woodcroft to be able to do this. We were halfway through the season, and I think Holloway played majority of the season in the top 9, which I don't understand why we didn't play him in the top 6 for the longest time. Like, I know he made some bad plays. We wanted to improve him defensively, but I don't know why we waited like the entire year for Holloway to get the bump up to the top 6. Made no sense to me, but we finally got him up in the top 6, and he looked quite good alongside of McDavid and Yamamoto throughout the night. So, and he was the guy who scored the very first goal for the Edmonton Oilers, getting his third goal of the season. So let's get right into the scoring summary, as this was a good wraparound by Barrie to keep it in the zone. McDavid had handled it. Holloway was like shrieking right down the middle. No one was covering him. He had all the space in the world, and Holloway just fired a bullet right past Gibson for a beautiful goal. Again, his third goal of the season. And then Nuge, baby, got his 20th goal of the season, putting the Oilers up 2-0. It was a nice pass from Broberg over to Nuge, and Nuge just had all the time in the world just to take a nice little snapshot. It was kind of like one of the weakest snapshots I've seen go in the back of the net. Gibson just couldn't see where Nuge was going to shoot it. He was blocked by a lot of his teammates and also some of the Oilers players. I don't know if it got tipped off of one of the defenders. It almost looked like it did, but it went in for Nuge, and he got his 20th goal. And right after that, Sam Carrick got his third goal of the season to just finally give the Ducks a goal and put the Oilers up 2-1. This was just a bad defensive play by the Oilers. Bouchard was just having Carrick all over him. Bouchard couldn't do anything, get it out of the zone. Then he tried to recover and couldn't recover. It was a nice pass from Comtois over to Carrick to bury his third goal of the season. But do not worry, the Oilers continued to pound on the offense. McDavid got his 35th goal of the season, which was just an absolute beauty. It was a spin around, a backhand shot right on the back of the net. It was absolutely amazing what we got to see from Connor McDavid there. It was an amazing goal. And then we got to see 2 goals from Klim Kostin, one to end off the first period, getting his 6th goal of the season. He had a nice turnover, got a handle of it, and just buried it right past Gibson. And then another one for Kostin right after that, putting up his 7th by a beautiful pass from Janmark, and he just buried a bullet right past Gibson to put the Oilers up 5-1. And then the final goal for the Edmonton Oilers was Leon Draisaitl, again his 23rd goal of the season, putting the Oilers up 6-1 on the power play. It was a nice pass from Bouchard, and Leon Draisaitl tipped it right into the back of the net for the Edmonton Oilers. And then Simon Benoit, from a bomb from the point, was able to put it right past Jack Campbell, who was in the net tonight, as Stuart Skinner is on leave right now to have his kid. His wife is about to have their kid, and so congrats on that, Stuart Skinner. I thought I would say that here in today's episode because Stuart Skinner will be gone for the Ducks game and then also the Sharks game. So I think we're going to be seeing him back for the Knights because that is a back-to-back, but he is having his kid right now, so congratulations to Stuart Skinner on that. So that's all the goals. Not a lot to really talk about on the goal scoring department because, I mean, there's not really too much to analyze. We did do really well. We dominated in this game. We dominated the Ducks, without a doubt. We played way better 5-on-5 wise than the Ducks ever could. It was probably one of the more boring games that we could see from the Ducks. They just didn't play too well. So we'll start off talking about Jack Campbell. He actually played pretty well. Campbell had a really good night for the Edmonton Oilers, made some pretty big saves. Now, he didn't really see a whole lot of great chances against him, so I'm not giving him too much credit here, but Jack Campbell did make some pretty big saves throughout the night, and he played really well. You know, usually on a night where Jack Campbell's in the net, he's letting in way more than he usually does, but he had a pretty nice save percentage at 913. Didn't see a whole lot of shots. That's kind of the issue, that he still let in 2 goals on not many shots. And he still looks sketchy in the net, man. Still something that, you know, I really feel like Jack Campbell has to get better. You know, he's just looking so damn sketchy in the net. You could really not rely on the guy too much. But Campbell's Campbell. He looked okay, just not amazing. We'll move on to the lineups for the forwards. We did 11-7 tonight, so a lot of different lineup combinations. So we're just going to go over a few good lineup combinations. And almost every player played really good for the Edmonton Oilers. There wasn't just one bad player throughout the night that didn't really play that great. The Holloway, McDavid, Yamamoto line played absolutely amazing throughout the entire night. I was a real big fan of this lineup, and I thought they did really good. And then you also add in the Hyman, Draisaitl, McLeod lineup as well. So you have 2 really good top 6 lines going right now, and I'm pretty excited to see those 2 lines continue to go. Nuge, Costin, and Janmark didn't play that bad. Now, I'm excited to see how well they'll do up against, like, a actual better team. I really have not been a big fan of Nuge and Janmark. Nuge and Janmark, I just feel, have not been working. I would actually like to see Puljujärvi up there instead with Costin and Nuge. I think that line would work a lot better and would go a lot better. Fogo and Puljujärvi were kind of like our extra 2 forwards. Throughout the night, they didn't play that bad. They didn't have, like, any great lines. They did play pretty well with McDavid for like a shift or 2, and they mostly played with McLeod throughout the night, which didn't generate a whole lot of offense either. Defensively, Nurse and Ceci were our main defensive pair once again. They actually had a pretty good defensive night, but you're going up against the Anaheim Ducks, so it's pretty easy for them to have a pretty good defensive night. Broberg and Bouchard continue to prove why they are probably one of our better defensive pairings on this team. It's quite funny. One of the younger defensive pairings and one of the best defensive pairings on the team right now. And then Kulak and Barry as well had pretty good nights. So across the board, everyone had pretty good nights. And then Vincent Desharnais, who made his NHL debut. He's the big 6'6" defenseman who is a absolute humongous of a man, and he's kind of the defensive defenseman type of style defenseman. Now, he did play a pretty good amount of minutes with Darnell Nurse. He played about 5 minutes with Nurse and a little bit with Broberg as well. Very little bit with Kulak. But Desharnais, like every defensive number for Desharnais, he played very, very good. Desharnais was amazing defensively. He really shut things down and played really good. Used his body, used his very long stick. He has a very long stick. Very much reminds you of his Zdeno Chara with how long his stick is, and he uses it to his advantage. He plays really good in that fact. The only problem I have with the guy is he's not great at handling the puck. He doesn't make great passes, and sometimes he made some awful turnovers, which if we were going up against better teams, those turnovers that Desharnais did do would probably backfire on us massively. Now, I might see him go up against the San Jose Sharks. You might see Desharnais play then. But after that, I really don't see him playing against the Knights, to be completely honest. I just don't see him doing that because we're going to be going up against a pretty tough team in the Knights, and I feel like if we're playing Desharnais, he might make some really costly mistakes for the team. He did play really good defensively. That's the really nice perk about Desharnais. He played really strong defensively, but I wasn't a big fan of his offensive game, so I'm excited to see what he'll do up against the Sharks if he does play up against the Sharks. But that should be an exciting one. But I think that's about it, guys. Not too much else to talk about here with the Edmonton Oilers. Just overall solid game for the team going up against one of the worst teams in the NHL, so not too much to cover and talk about with this team. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Comment down below, as it always helps the algorithm. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.